Hello, we are going to Henry and Mud and Mrs. Hopper's house. A sweet dance. Valentine's Day was coming. Henry and his big dog Mudge loved Valentine's Day because of the candy. They liked the little candy hearts that said "You swell." Oh, and oh dear, things like that. Henry read the word and Mud licked them off. They were a good team. This Valentine's Day, Henry's father and Henry's mother were going to sweetheart dance. Henry and Mud were staying with Mrs. Hopper's. Mrs. Hopper lived across the street. A big stone house with droopy trees and dark windows and a gargoyle on the door. Henry liked Mrs. Hopper, but he did not like her house. Are you sure Mud and I can't come the sweetheart dance? Henry asked his father. Only you both promised to wear a tuxedo and shiny black shoes and with waltzes to the blue Danube, said Henry's father. Henry looked at the Mud and tried to imagine him in the tuxedo and the shiny black shoes and with the blue Danube. I think we better to go to Mrs. Hopper's house. Good idea, said Henry's father, because Mud only knew how to tap dance. Henry said with a grin. Mrs. Hopper on Valentine's night. Henry's parents got all dressed up. Henry looked at them. Wow, he said. I bet you didn't know I was this handsome, said Henry's dad. I did, said Henry's mother, giving him a kiss. Oh, too much mushy stuff. Henry said to Mudge, let's go to Mrs. Hopper's house quick. At the Mrs. Hopper's house, Mother licked the gargoyle on the front door. Henry giggled. He didn't scare you much, Henry said. When Mrs. Hopper opened the door, she has smiled at Henry. He patted Mudge. She said goodbye to Henry's parents, and Henry and Mudge went inside. He had never been in Mrs. Hopper's house before. It was like a castle. There was a chandeliers and tall pictures, and the grand piano, and looking for mud, cats everywhere. How many cats do you have, Mrs. Hopper? Asked Henry. asked Henry. 11, said Mrs. Hopper. All girls. Mudge looked at the cats and wagged. Mudge loves cats, Henry told Mrs. Hopper. Mrs. Hopper said Mudge again. Mudge again. Mudge loves everything. She said. Mudge smiled. Mrs. Hopper's house wasn't bad. It was wonderful. Maybe his parents was danced a long night long. Costumes. Mrs. Hopper wasn't like anyone Henry had ever met. She played the violin for him. His favorite tea. She told him about his father and his favorite actor. Please. She was very kind to Mudge. She cooked him a bowl of oatmeal and gave him a lot of French bread. After the tea and music, oatmeal, Mrs. Hopper took them upstairs. Dad, raise your mustache. She opened a room. Wow, said Henry, and the room was full of costumes. There were caps and tall hats and shiny coats. There was caps and swords and umbrellas. There were wigs. We put on wig and Mudge. You look like a pooh, Mudge, said Henry. Mudge wagged and wagged. Henry and Mudge and Mrs. Hopper spent the most of the evening in the costume room. They had a wonderful time. And when Henry's parents came back from the dance, they were ever surprised. Mother was a fool, and Henry was a man. Henry was wearing the tuxedo and hat and shiny black shoes. I bet you didn't know I was this handsome, Henry told his dad, and everyone laughed, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe.